Hello everyone and welcome to highlights of this Vanarama National League South clash between Bath City and Havant and Waterlooville from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏 Park. Following a record-breaking 15 goals in August, City will be hoping to continue the momentum against the side with the worst defensive record in National League South. The Romans' recent record against the Hawks is good, swooping to 3 wins and 2 draws in the last 5, including February's 2-0 success when Havant ended with 9 men. That game started an alarming drop-off for the Hampshire side. They went on to win just 1 of their final 16 matches and missed out on the playoffs. During this descent, Paul Doswell stepped aside and was replaced by Jamie Collins in charge. Collins was sent from the dugout on Monday, but it didn't prevent them picking up their first win of the season and first at home since February, edging out Yeovil in a 7-goal thriller. Bath City have made 2 changes following Monday's well-organised win at St Albans. Joe Rains and Cody Cook start in place of Jack Batten and Elliot Freer. The Romans will revert to 4-4-2 to match the visitors. Havant are unchanged from their last game. Joe Osler was appointed player assistant manager yesterday. He's named as a substitute. Commentary for this game is provided by Bath City Radio's Toby Wellington, Andrew Kerslake and Alex Lane Kieltyka.
As we're about to get underway now, referee today, Harry Warner, alongside his assistants, Elliot Hadrill and James Tewson. And we're underway now. Luke Russ hitting it all the way to the right-hand side. And it goes beyond Cody Cook. Good header from Thomas that time. McNerney tries to go in on Cody Cook, who spins the player. And he's running inside now. He actually cuts inside as well. He's about 25 yards out. He has Ewan Clark on the right-hand side. He uses him now. Just on the edge of the right-hand side of the box. Sent across in the right foot. And it doesn't actually quite go out for a goal kick. Instead, it will go out for a throw-in. A lot of players just juggling the ball around there. It was very, very messy between Wilson and Deacon. You know, running on now. Good opportunity for McNerney just take a shot there. Now Clark has Wilson on the run. Uses Wilson. Nice Travella-type pass. Has Cody Cook in the middle. Doesn't see him initially. Tries to take a shot. Rebounds off a defender. Goes out for a throw. Here comes a throw now from Rains to Clark. Right-hand side. Halfway inside the Havant half. Back with Clark. Waiting for an opening. He's trying to lure the defenders in. He ends up winning a free kick off foul. It looks like Clark is going to be taking this, although he is using his right foot this time to send it into box. Up towards 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗚𝗏. He does win the header initially in the second ball. Here goes Wilson! 1-0 to Bath City. 10th minute, 10 minutes gone. And Bath City break the deadlock early here at 𝗛𝗚𝗏𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏 Park. Scott Wilson getting onto the rebound. It was initially a great save from 𝗛𝗚𝗚𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. But once again, Scotty Wilson gets his 5th goal of the season, 1-0 to City.
All of that came from that Clark free kick. Floated across the box, headed back goalwards, and keeper Warner had to dive to his left to keep it out. And the ball just bobbling around. Wilson stepped in, bang, into the back of the net, and City go ahead.
And here is now Jordan Thomas on the left-hand side, looking to take Blair on. Going to try and do so. Oh, does so well to get past 2 defenders there. Into box now, can send a low cross in. Looked like initially he may have been able to have gone down, potentially won a penalty. Didn't quite happen though. Now Keeley on the counter-attack. Here comes Havant again now. Deacon up towards foul. He's running at the defenders now. Takes a left-footed shot. Is falling in the process, completely off balance. And they go straight through to Ollie Wright. Greenside able to get there first, sends it back to Wright, who rushes his kick, and McNerney with a lovely first touch to bring it down very confidently. Now with Mayhew. Brings it inside to Bazzari. And Russ does really well just to hold him well. And it ends up coming off Russ for a shot from Bazzari and goes out for a corner for Havant. Here comes the throw now from Rains. It's going to be a long throw up towards a penalty spot. Dyer it was aiming for. Couldn't quite win the header. Cleared away. Now Thomas sends the ball over the top up towards Cook. And looked like he was onside initially. Linesman says no. And it will be a free kick. Certainly looks like the best version of himself right now. It's a brilliant header from Cook to get it down for Wilson, who can try and take a left-footed shot. Lays up for Thomas with a weak foot, takes a shot. Charged down that time. Another opportunity for Greenside to send the ball in. Now Thomas. Oh, does really well. Creates himself an opening. A low cross in towards the 6-yard box where both Tom Smith and Wilson were waiting. That's a ball over top from Thomas. Bit of a forced ball over towards Cook, who does really well to win the ball off McNerney, and he's shoved down to ground there. I'm surprised the referee hasn't blown up, but he does now. That's a good opportunity as a free kick's about to come in. Really good from Cody Cook. We're now going to swap over to Toby Wellington.
Two-man wall for Havant. It's far out on the left-hand side, so plenty of opportunity for Bath to attack this as it's floated or whipped in by Clark. It's delivered right-footed, quite flat, delivered into the box and cleared away. Smith wins the header on the edge and it's cleared away by Innocent. Foul is on the chase. Greenslade back there for Bath City's let it bounce, and Foul has won a header, but Greenslade able to sweep up and let it go for a throw-in. Tom Mayhew's going to get on this for Havant. Scott Wilson putting the pressure on, but Mayhew's got the ball still. It's clipped one into the feet of McNerney on the edge of the box, and now Blair, who can cross a ball. Good ball in towards the back post. Joe Rains does really well to deal with it. Here's a chance here for Havant, and Tom Smith is able to cut it out, and it's cleared away by Jordan Dyer, and Bath City can now evacuate their 18-yard box as Rory Deacon has it on the left-hand side for Havant. He starts to progress forward, keeping the ball on his right foot. Experienced player Deacon into Keeley, and his shot is saved by Ollie Wright. Blair driving forward. He's got Tom Mayhew in front of him. A clipped cross in, cleared away by Jordan Dyer. And Ewan Clark has got enough time to take a touch, and he turns his man who is Innocent for a second, but in the end, it's come back to Havant and Waterlooville, and a strike by Rory Deacon, and it's just wide of Ollie Wright's goal. Rory Deacon clearly felt that he had enough room to get a strike away, and it was a very dangerous effort in the end. Into Deacon, and the experienced midfielder's looking for options. Gets it into Foul up front, who's dropped in again. Deacon into Busari. Can they get a shot away here, Havant? Busari shifts it onto his right. He's squaring up Tom Smith just outside the Bath City penalty area. Bath City with plenty of defenders in the way. One of them was Luke Ross, who got a deflection on the shot, and it's going to be a corner. Yeah, no, it didn't say which finger. Busari with the ball just inside the penalty area for Bath. Comes out to Roberts, who hits one left-footed. It's a very poor effort. It goes about 20 yards over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick for City, and they can reset.
You mentioned Simon, our kitman. The Havant and Waterloo website describes their kitman, Richard Pope, as one of the leading kit people in non-league football. What do you have to do to be a leading kit person?
Oh, sorry, Scott Wilson out to you and Clark. City on the edge of the Havant box. Clark into Cook, and it's just over the bar at the back post. It's a good move from City, again coming from some poor midfield and defensive play from Havant and Waterlooville. City will hopefully have those spaces that they'll be able to expose and take advantage of. As Thomas is fouled there by Blair. Referee has waved his hand and said no, but Thomas stays on the deck for City for the moment as the ball comes into foul for Havant. He's got Keeley ahead of him, who he's found down the left-hand side. Jordan Thomas just making his way to his feet. You've got Rory Deacon, 30 yards out, plays it into Tom Mayhew. Mayhew now turns out and gets it into Roberts. Roberts looking for the overlap of Blair. He's found Blair, who hasn't been tracked. A low cross, and it's just gone across the 6-yard box. So not only was it a fantastic cross, it didn't go that far wide. And as I say that, the referee has actually blown for half-time. So that was the last action, and almost a terrible action from City's perspective.
Over to Mayhew. Switches up the play to right-hand side. A high ball this time. Headed down to Bazari, can't bring it down himself. Back on right-hand side for Blair, who has looked dangerous in the first half. Sends a cross in up towards Foul. Dyer wins the header. Cleared away by Russ, who I think has essentially been the man of match for City today. And Wilson does really well there. Just puts a shoulder in. Collins isn't happy with the decision, but Wilson's out one-on-one with the keeper. Just keep it to beat. Takes the shot. Good save by Warner. Had to stretch out to his left and make himself big. But an opportunity squandered there by the informed striker.
You almost suspect that Wilson had a little bit too much time to think about that. He raced from the halfway line, having dispossessed the Havant player.
There will be a corner nonetheless, which Ewan Clark will take from right-hand side. Here comes now towards a penalty spot. It's Parcell, he does win the header, and he goes inches wide of the post. He had no defender ahead of him there, Parcell. Mayhew, Deacon, left-hand side, inside the Bath City half. City holding that back line strong. Roberts somehow falls to foul after it ricochets off of Rains, and according to a referee, Jordan Dyer brought down foul there. Didn't think there was much in that challenge, but it will be a free kick and a dangerous opportunity about 25 yards out or so from Roberts. Takes in, dinks it over the wall, goes just over the bar, but Ollie Wright was at full stretch. You'd like to think he probably was going to get onto the end of it if it was on target. Here comes the kick from Warner now. Goes up towards Keeley. Dyer can't quite win it that time. Now falls to foul. He could unleash a shot. He does so. Takes a rebound off for Greenslade. Blair's only had the ball a little bit in this second half. I'm sure they'll want to introduce him more into this second half, though. There's a long ball launched forward up towards Mayhew. It does fall to 𝗛𝗚𝗚. He could take a shot on the half volley. Greenside having to hold on well, but not give away a penalty. Here goes 𝗛𝗚𝗚 now with a shot. Down low by right to save the initial shot. And he does well to keep away from 𝗛𝗚𝗚, and it will be a free kick against Havant and Waterlooville. But Ollie Wright does really well to stay strong and keeps the ball away from Callum 𝗛𝗚𝗚. Greenside just keeping it away from 𝗛𝗚𝗚. 𝗛𝗚𝗚 does well to dispossess Greenside. Very first mistake, but Danny Greenside's made all game. It's a lovely low cross. And Parcells' clearance almost deflects into the back of Ollie Wright's net. Here comes Deacon with the in-swinging corner on the left-hand side. Near towards the back post, McNerney lays. He does get his foot onto it, but Russ can watch it go all the way out for a goal kick. It's also Dover 0, Chippenham 1. So Dover, all the bottom four, losing as it stands. It's head down by McNerney. It looked a bit nonchalant, the header initially. And Wilson can latch onto that back pass, and it will be 2-0. Scotty Wilson does what he does best, and he puts the ball into the back of the net. 60th minute. It is now Bath City 2, Havant and Waterlooville 0. A huge mistake from both McNerney initially, and then a really, really poor back pass from Brendan Wilson. Keeper, which is left in no man's land. Well done, Scott Wilson.
Yeah, and he's been threatening that, hasn't he, all afternoon. I mean, he's had 2 or 3 goes at robbing defenders, and hasn't always come off, but he was so quick there, wasn't he? Knew exactly what he was doing. Wilson made the mistake, and suddenly Scott Wilson stepped in and made absolutely no error.
Russ. It looked like the referee was going to blow up again for that 50-50. Didn't do so. Clark does well to skip past the challenge. Looks up, has a lot of players around him, both City and Havant players. Nice layoff from Smith to Cook to send a cross into lovely looping cross up towards Thomas, who actually pulled out. I think he initially thought it was going to be put out by the defender. And it actually did come off Blair Lass, so it will be a throw-in, which Greenside will come over to take on the left-hand side now.
Again, nice move by City, and Clark there showing all his skills to get that ball to Cook.
Thomas, not been in this game too much yet, especially the second half. Now Russ does well to spin away from the challenge. Back to Rains, about 50 yards out. Goes to the left-hand side for Greenside. Now with Russ, good 1-2 football here from City. That was lovely, triangular play. Back to Greenside from Russ. Tries to press it forward to Thomas, who wasn't quite in sync with the other 2 players there. Tries to turn off the player. No foul given. Looked like it may have been quite a soft challenge, but good opportunity for Havant to break away now with foul. Running between the defence. Roberts, left-hand side. He can cut an issue if he wants to. Takes a quick little toe-tapping shot to try and put off Ollie Wright. Up towards Cook, who once again wins the header that time. Can he win the second header? No, he's just going to bring it down. Shoves it forward to Wilson. Plays out wide to Thomas, who may just take a shot here. He's on the left-hand side of the box. Looks for an opening. Shot is charged down by McNerney that time. Blair putting pressure on, and it will be a throw-in for Bath City. Now Russ, or as Luke Russ is playing, has to be said. Out wide to Clark. It's a brilliant ball to Clark. Lovely first touch as well. Keep it away from Innocent. Great cross in towards the back post. Great defending from McNerney to keep it away from both Thomas and Cody Cook. Here comes Thomas now. They're aiming for that penalty spot where Dyer and Parcells lay. Oh, but Rains, who had so much space there, and he'll go for another corner. Look like he's going towards that bottom corner. So Thomas will lay in wait at his corner flag.
He's gone short again though. Innocent's got it on his left hand, on his left foot. It deflects off of Clark to Deacon, back to Innocent, who goes down to the byline, clips one up. It's foul, and it's going to be over the bar. He had a header inside the 6-yard box, but it ended up looping over the bar. So Scott Wilson on a hat-trick. He'll be disappointed, I'm sure, not to have the opportunity to score another. But Wilson off, on comes Elliot Freer. So it's 17 for 11. Elliot Freer is on, and this might mean that we have a slight formation change from City. As the kick goes forward, Cook goes up for it, comes to Tom Smith and now Luke Russ. Well, Rory Deacon's just kicked Tom Smith in the back there. The referee's completely missed it. But here's a chance. Oh, the referee's given a foul. The referee's completely missed it, and if he hasn't, then he's about to send Deacon off because they both went down onto the floor. Andrew, I'm not sure if you saw it, but Rory Deacon went over Tom Smith, and as he was getting back up, he definitely kicked.
That's exactly what Smith is saying at the moment to the referee.
As the ball comes out to the left-hand side with Roberts, the captain plays the ball into the box, and here is Rory Deacon, and Roberts will have a go, and for the second time, he's put it a good 20, 30 yards over the bar.
Well,
with his right foot.
we were commending Roberts, but certainly not based on that shot. 4-0 is fairly clear, but then we would say, well, look what happened when Bath played Western.
Absolutely, and here's Jordan Thomas on the edge of the box. Here's Tom Smith. There's a chance now. Elliot Freer on his left foot. Freer winds one up, has a go, and it's just wide. Or it can't have been far wide. Warner was scrambling across, whips it in right-footed. Ball goes into the edge of the 6-yard box, and Parcell came in, and he's unfortunately unable to get a full contact on it. He's ended up skimming it just wide. Hayfield's making his way on, and is it Jordan Thomas? It is Jordan Thomas. Jordan Thomas is going to make his way off. Deacon into Roberts, and now the centre circle. McCarthy has an opportunity to get his head up. Drills across straight into the feet of Greenslade, who's got about 20 yards of space to run into, and Elliot Freer ahead of him. Into the feet of Elliot Freer now, just over the halfway line, Bath City, and Greenslade from Freer into the attacking third on his left foot, crosses towards, Dan Hayfield. It's not a fantastic ball from Greenslade, it's got to be said. It looked very tired, and Havant have the ball back and an opportunity to clear.
Yeah, Greenslade had done all the hard work there. Just needed a good ball into the box, but Havant have replied by putting the ball straight out into touch.
Hayfield plays into Clark down the right-hand side for City. Innocent's won it back. Innocent for Havant, drives in field, goes in towards the box. It's gone into Keeley, who's been very quiet in the second half. Keeley finds Fowl on the edge of the box. Fowl opens onto his right foot, back onto his left. Great challenge by Jordan Dyer. That's a fantastic challenge. He came sliding in from nowhere, and he's also been able to send Ewan Clark away, who's just been dragged down two-handed by Innocent. He's run all the way back, Innocent. It was a terrible, it wasn't even a challenge. It was a rugby tackle. 2 hands on the shoulders and dragged him down to the floor, and Ewan Clark has stayed there for the moment as well.
You can see how tired Roberts was there. He was favoured to get that ball when it was flicked forward, but got nowhere near it.
It's one of those things. It's the mental tiredness as well as the physical tiredness, and that was Dan Hayfield's gone to kick the ball, missed it, and as he's on the swing through, has caught Rory Deacon on the shin, who is selling it worthy enough to possibly get listed for an Oscar at some point. Yeah, you could have made a case for nearly everyone in the team to have got a shout for the man of the match, but that's the win, and that's City top of the league. The final whistle goes, Bath City 2, Havant and Waterlooville 0. Havant and Waterlooville season, after a quick bounce following their positive result against Yeovil Town, back down towards the bottom of the league with a defeat here at Twerton, but City top of the league after what was a fantastic performance here for Bath City. 2 goals from Scott Wilson. It's finished here City 2, Havant and Waterlooville 0, as both sets of players go and shake hands with one another and the officials.
It's been an interesting game in a number of ways, because I think if you probably looked at the possession statistics, you'd say Havant has probably had the bulk of possession, particularly during that first period, and then again in the second half here, the early part of the second half, again lots of possession. But although they had the possession, you felt it was City still dictating how this game was going to be played. And so many times we saw Havant make 7, 8, 9 passes, but then that final ball into the box either easy to cut out or going wide of the goal. And well, City, you'd argue, this was a thoroughly professional performance this afternoon. They haven't conceded anything. The defences look really, really strong. And Wilson, well, he's in a rich vein of form at the moment. Yeah,
when you've got a defence and a goalkeeper that can keep clean sheets, and you've got a striker that's scoring goals for fun, you're going to do well. And City are finding at the moment that they're really finding their form. And like you said, haven't had a huge percentage of the possession today without really creating much. So as a result, City will be absolutely delighted. It's a 2-0 win for City. They go top of the league. Scott Wilson with both the goals and the man of the match award. City top of the Vanarama National League South.
A great result here for City, going out 2-0 winners as the Hawks are down. Thank you for being with us, and good afternoon.